Welcome to the Ogden City Council meeting of May 17th, 2016. This is the 6 p.m. City Council meeting. Please note that all council members are present. With that, I'm going to turn the time over to Vice Chair Blair for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Chair White. Tonight we have Troop 11 here, a couple scouts from Troop 11, and Jacob Glanville has offered to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So, Jacob, can you come forward, please?
Right there. Keep going.
Great. Thanks so much for being here.
Welcome. So, I am Jacob Glanville, and I am going to be doing the Pledge of Allegiance. Please follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Jacob.
Thanks, Jacob.
Hey, Jacob, real quick. Hey, Jacob, real quick. Are you here for a merit badge?
Yeah, I am here for a merit badge.
Which one?
Citizenship in the community.
Well, thank you for being here.
I like to be here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good job.
Please take a moment of silence with me. Thank you. Next on our agenda is a recognition of the Historic Preservation Month, and I believe Councilmember Heyer is going to read that for us.
Thank you, Chair White. It is my honor and privilege to present this proclamation. This is a joint proclamation of the Ogden City Council and Mayor declaring May 2016 Historic Preservation Month in Ogden City and recognizing the significant contributions of local architect Leslie Hodgson. Is that how you pronounce it? Okay. Whereas Ogden City boasts a rich heritage of historic character that has been recognized nationally, historic preservation is a valuable tool that helps to maintain our community character, foster local pride, revitalize neighborhoods, and enhance overall livability. And whereas many of Ogden's historic structures were locally designed and developed, Ogden native and nationally recognized architect Leslie Simmons Hodgson designed many local architectural works of art, including Ogden High School, the U.S. Forestry Service Building, Perry's Egyptian Theater, Ben Lomond Hotel, the Ogden Exchange Building, and the Ogden Municipal Building. These are premier examples of the Art Deco structures. Hodgson's exemplary design of these structures has created lasting landmarks and showcases an important part of Ogden's history. And whereas it is important to celebrate the role of history in our lives and the contributions made by the dedicated individuals in helping to preserve the tangible characteristics of the heritage that has shaped us as a people. Historic preservation can benefit Americans of all ages, walks of life, and ethnic backgrounds in urban and rural communities across the nation. And whereas each year, Ogden's Historic Preservation Scavenger Hunt provides a valuable and fun opportunity for residents to become aware of some of the unique historic and architectural designs and structures within Ogden. Now, therefore, the Ogden City Council and Mayor Michael P. Caldwell hereby proclaim May 2016 Historic Preservation Month in Ogden City. We honor the substantial contributions of our Planning Commission, Landmarks Commission, Planning and Community Development staffs, Weber Heritage Foundation, local businesses, residents, and numerous others who have worked to restore and retain the rich and historic legacy of our community. We also express our appreciation for the incredible architectural contributions that Leslie Hodgson has provided to our community. We encourage the entire Ogden community to participate in the May 2016 Historic Preservation Scavenger Hunt to become more aware of the impressive and stunning historic structures, architecture, and the designs throughout our community. And so I would like to present this proclamation to, who's here from, is anybody here from Landmarks or? Yes, come forward, please. Oh, we need them all. Yeah, I guess I better do that part, huh? So let me make a motion that we approve this proclamation proclaiming May 2016 as Historic Preservation Month in Ogden City.
I second it.
We have a motion by Councilmember Heyer, second by Councilmember Stevens to adopt this proclamation. This is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Excellent. That passes. Now they can come forward.
Now we can come forward. Greg, come forward with them. You're pretty key in all of this.
Is that because I'm old?
Historic.
Come on forward and let us shake your hands, and then we'll take some group shots, okay?
Okay. All of you who are not very shy, you normally.
Here, let's get a group shot of everyone together.
We know you.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
Just go down. Go down.
And then she'll keep you coming. Then we'll just put you right here in front.
Thanks, Greg.
Over my bag there.
Yeah, scoot down some more.
Here tonight.
Way more. Keep it going. Move on. Keep it moving. Keeps going. Scoot. Scoot. A little more.
I'm being pushed more.
Come on, some more.
There we go.
There we go. Oh, all right, that's better.
Councilmember Lopez.
Which way? There you go.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much.
Love to hear from you.
Yeah, Judy, somebody? Jared? Somebody say something. All the work you're doing, you should say a lot.
Thank you, for the recognition. I think Greg spearheads most of this, and we just kind of follow his opinion on most of it. It's generally, the right course of action. Just happy to be here in Ogden, and we've got a wealth of great architecture here that just needs a little love, and I think it's in the right hands, and it's all heading the right direction. So, cool.
Thank you.
Next on our agenda is a common consent item of a cancellation of a meeting, consideration of a cancellation of the regular meeting for August 23rd, 2016.
Madam Chair, I would move that we cancel the meeting, council meeting on August 23rd, 2016.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Heyer, second by Councilmember Lopez. This is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. And that cancellation is for the College Town Advisory Group. We'll meet that night, just as a note. Next on our agenda is the approval of minutes for the regular meeting of February 2nd, 2016. Councilmember Heyer.
Yes, Chair White, I have reviewed those minutes and found them to be accurate.
Study session of February 16th, 2016. Councilmember Lopez.
Yes, Chair White, I reviewed the minutes and found them to be correct.
The work session of February 16th, 2016. Councilmember Nadolski.
Thank you, Chair White. I've reviewed the minutes and found them to be correct.
The closed executive session of March 15th, 2016. Councilmember Garner.
Yes, Chair White, I've reviewed those minutes and found them to be correct.
And the joint work session of March 15th, 2016. Councilmember Stevens.
Yes, Chair, they're correct, and I make a motion that we accept the minutes that have been presented.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember by Councilmember Stevens. Sorry, you did the last few. And second by Councilmember Lopez. This is a voice vote. All in favor?
Oh, sorry.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. And thank you for doing all of our minutes. So we appreciate it. Next up on our agenda is the reports from administration about the sewer and water revenue and refunding bonds.
Laura Lewis, who is our financial advisor, is here, and also Blake Wade. I don't know what he does, but he's here. So I imagine they'll be tag teaming.
Excellent.
And Brandy really does a lot of the work too, but she sits in the back and kind of controls the puppets. And
Welcome
Thank you.
to another riveting conversation that we're having.
yeah, you know, when bond counsel shows up,
It doesn't get any better.
You at least ought to memorize like an attorney joke or something.
You should.
Will for the next time, I'm sure of it.
I usually say I resemble that comment.
I'm like one of those bad pennies that just keeps turning up, right? So this information is what we reviewed last week in your work session. There have been no changes, but I just wanted to refresh your memory very briefly and for the public that's here and be on record in your meeting. The plan is to refund, we refer to that as pay and cancel, the callable portion of the bonds. We'll actually put them into an escrow until their call date of the Series 2008 and 2009 sewer and water revenue refunding bonds for a very significant economic savings. And secondly, the second purpose is to provide funds to construct approximately $17 million in new water projects. We have your staff here that can detail those. They're all from your capital improvement plan. The 2008 bonds are callable in June of 2018 and in June of 2019, respectively. Each of the bonds had a 10-year call. We want to take advantage of the low interest rates that we see in the market today. I didn't look at the close of the market, but the stock market was down. That usually bodes well for interest rates as a general rule. We show in the bullet point, sort of where the 10-year history of the bond buyer revenue index versus where it currently is. Give you an indication on the next page of where interest rates are based on different rating categories. The interest rates on the old bonds are currently 4.68 and 4.16 respectively. We estimate that they will be 2.93 and 1.45 respectively after the refunding. And this is currently estimated to generate over $5 million in savings over the life of the bonds. If you net present value that back today, it's like, giving you about $3.8 million on a net present value basis. The timing issues, which we went over last week, is to be before you this week and have you consider the resolution, the parameters resolution, which will set forth the maximum interest rate, the maximum term, the maximum par amount, and set forth a committee that will be responsible to provide final approval for those bonds as long as we stay within the bands of the parameters. It will set forth the typical process that we use for your city as well as for all the others that we meet with, wherein we have you consider the resolution. That is then published, typically a couple of days from now, and that publication starts a 30-day contestability period. That someone can come and put you on notice that they think we didn't follow the right procedure or whatever, and makes the public aware of what you're planning to do. Again, it is typical that is set before your public hearing so the public has a concept of what you want to do. It doesn't mean it cannot be done another way. If you approve tonight and set the public hearing for June 7th, we estimate that we will close on or about the first week of August on these bonds. Those always, sometimes that moves a little bit depending upon when the rating agencies can meet with us or, various and sundry things, but that's what we're currently expecting. The graph on the bottom of the second page gives you a visual. We should have maybe made it a little bit, wider so that you could, it's hard to see if there's a big difference between those two little green lines and the blue line that generate that $3 million in savings. And the graph on the next page shows the refunding issue with the new money piece wrapped around. So the refunding piece, the 2008s and 9s, the 9 is in blue and it drops off in 2024. to match the current maturity of those bonds that are being refunded. The 2008 bonds are in purple, and they mature in 2038, just like the existing bonds that we're refunding. The orange bar represents the new money piece, and as you can see, we are taking it out a little bit longer, but not longer than the original bonds that were issued for your water and sewer debt. But we're taking it out for the same period, the 25 years that you typically do when you issue your water bonds. With that, I will let Blake talk to you about the documents that he has, and you can ask either of us any questions about the procedure or anything else that you'd like.
Members of council, it's a pleasure to be with you. Blake Wade of Ballard Spahr, your bond counsel. So we have before you a resolution that, as Laura has described, will provide for the parameters under which the bonds can be issued and call for the public hearing. I know there was a question asked about whether the city is making a final decision tonight to issue the bonds in advance of the public hearing, and I don't know if they pointed out, but the resolution specifically provides that you can decide at any time not to issue the bonds, including if there were information made available at the hearing that caused you to change your decision. So this is allowing us to comply with state law, to get the appropriate notices going, to allow for the public hearing to be held, receive that input, and to commence the 30-day contest period. But this is not the final commitment by any means until you've actually sold the bonds, and the pricing committee that you appoint tonight makes that approval of the bonds. I'd be happy to answer any other questions you might have. Laura's done a great job of presenting this, but I'd be happy to discuss any part of it you'd like to cover.
Thank you for the procedural clarification. Appreciate it. The question came from me and the confusion. Thank you, Mark, for setting that up ahead of time. Just to add to my clarity, what will happen between tonight when we set the public hearing and June 7th?
There'll be two publications will be made. So there is a notice of bonds to be issued that is going to be published in the paper. So that sets that out, and there are specific terms. It'll lay out the parameters for the bonds, the purpose for the bonds. It'll talk about calling the public hearing. It sets out the expected debt service on the bonds, and then basically provides for a period during which people can come in and file any protests that they may have, and also encourages them to come and attend the public hearing if they have any input.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Will the interest rate change in that period of time?
Interest rate has yet to be set. Very good question. So we're now trying to expedite that process so that we can get you to market as soon as possible. But until you actually go to market and market the bonds and sign that final bond purchase agreement and have the committee approve the interest rates, the market will continue to fluctuate as it does. So we're trying to get you in a position to get to market as soon as possible.
We're hoping for the same environment when we did our last bonds. We were lucky then. We hope to be lucky again.
This is an excellent time. As Laura said, the rates have been at historic lows, so it's a good time to be getting ready. But until we actually can get to that point and work with your underwriter to get the bonds marketed, we can't. The interest rate's not locked until that time.
Okay. Thank you.
So I have a question. So if we decide not to go forward with the new bonds, but the refunding of the others, how does that work?
You could do that as well. The transaction will be put together in an offering document, and however you decide to move forward with that. So you could, under this resolution, you could decide to move forward with either piece independently if that's what the decision was made.
Any other questions? Good. I think, yeah.
One point that may be of interest to you in that regard, I understand there was a question about sort of what's the last point that you could decide that. Ideally, that would be before we print the preliminary official statement that is used for marketing. So that's probably, if we're closing on August 2nd, let's say the first or second week of July, give or take, would be sort of the last day. Makes it a little bit of a scramble for him, because then we would rush in and scratch out, oh, sorry, no new money pieces, and deal with that. But that, if we're going to push it, I'm not advising you to push it to that point, but I know the question was asked, and that is the last point that you'd want to make that change.
Okay.
There is a considerable amount of savings by doing this procedure. We will receive, would you say, $3.8 million in the revenue and aspect of it.
And I don't think that's counting the savings of joining this together with the new bonds, with the new money. There's an additional savings in just the fees to everyone and issuance costs and all those kinds of things.
I mean, the downside is you don't get to see me twice, though.
Don't make me go there.
There's the savings right there, right?
Pay you twice, too?
Right there.
Maybe once. Any other questions?
Any
that
other
you have?
questions?
Thanks, members of council.
Thank you. I think we're good. So can I just have a point of clarification on what you would, we're changing it from a voice vote to a roll call vote, but continuing to set the public hearing for June 7th?
Well, I think the motion, I'm sorry, the motion is to adopt the resolution, and it is would be a roll call vote.
Okay, thank you.
So, Madam Chair,
Yeah, thank you.
with that, then I will make a motion that we adopt proposed resolution 2016-18.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Garner, second by Councilmember Heyer to adopt the resolution. This is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Gardner?
Aye.
Councilmember Heyer?
Aye.
Councilmember Lopez?
Aye.
Councilmember Nadolski? Councilmember Stevens?
Aye.
Vice Chair Blair?
Aye.
Chair White?
Aye. That passes.
Chair, if I could make a comment before these two leave. They've been champions for Ogden for a long time, and I just want to say thank you. We really appreciate working with both of them, even though we give them a bad time.
Thank you.
Spend some money before you leave. Oh, there you go.
You know, the drive up here was longer than our
More
meeting.
than that.
Online purchases don't count.
Yeah. Next on our agenda is public comments. This is an opportunity to address the council regarding any concerns or ideas on any topic. Please come forward. You have, state your name and address, and you have 3 minutes.
Travis Pate. I live in a Leslie Hodgson house on Jefferson. So this is a Historic Preservation Month. I thought it'd be appropriate to comment. My stepfather has actually had the chance to meet his son and visited and said, "Oh, that's the kind of person Dad was." We wallpapered corner to corner, and the line went plumb down every corner. And that's a 1910 house. So still pretty remarkable. In conjunction with Historic Preservation Month, I just wanted to come back and just comment. Here's the situation. A powerful property owner wants to tear down one of our city's important buildings, and only the mayor has the power to stop it. Sound familiar? The style of the building, its history and architecture and engineering significance are largely irrelevant because the decision makers, the property owner, which is the city, and the mayor, may not care about those issues. This is actually a quote from the National Trust for Historic Preservation. It wouldn't have mattered to them if the building was Gothic, Revival, Art Deco, or High Modern. Preservationists sometimes make the mistake of thinking that we know what makes places or buildings important and that other people should appreciate it for the same reasons. But that's rarely the case. Most people don't know or care about architect styles or buildings, but they have a deep connection to place for other, less tangible reasons. It is important to understand and respect and celebrate those connections. So in conjunction with that, I recognize that the city has a longstanding desire for historic preservation. And so I'd come to you in regards to a building that we'll soon take ownership and just say, give me a business plan, just as you would for the junction when we had acquired, tore it down. Here's another one. More than just a building, it's part of a series of work. It's a private-public partnerships between 3 families, the Eccles, the Dees, and the Pierce family. John Pierce Ebers Pierce designed the Bertha Anna Ballroom, the expansion of the Dee Memorial Hospital, was a draftsman for Hodgson on the original Ogden High School, which later became Central Junior High. His son, John Pierce, designed Weaver High School, the St. Benedict's Hospital, now Ogden Regional Medical Center, Dee Elementary, Weber County Library, and notably, one of our icons of the community is the bell tower at Weber State, the Stuart Clarion Bell Tower. So this is more than just a relationship of a building. And so my suggestion and request is that you actually look at D School again and say, what's a business plan for reuse versus just a slight for demolition? And in conjunction with that, so you know what you're tearing down, we'd invite you to the D School's farewell celebration. There's a reception at 6 p.m., a program at 6:30 on the 18th. And so you can come in and look and say, here's what this building has meant. And then also there's also a lack of there's a current nationwide movement for mid-century modern preservation. And I think we're behind the curve on that. So I'd invite you all to do that. I've left a little bit of background information for council and administration, and just invite you to relook and rethink D School as part of a historic preservation. And like I said, if a reuse plan comes back and it's exorbitant, but at least we tried. And I think just recognizing the work of the Pierce family with the Eccles family and the D family, without which where would we be in Ogden? Pretty sunk.
Thanks, Travis.
Thank you, Travis.
Thank you. Our thoughts are with you.
Hello.
Hi there.
My name is Eric Allen. I'm not even sure if I'm in the right place. I own a piece of property in Ogden Canyon, and behind my property is a piece of property that's owned by Ogden City. I would like to know what, if anything, the city plans to do with it. The reason I ask is because it's on a cliff. So I'm not really sure, what's gonna, I'm planning on redoing my home, and I'm not really sure what's gonna go on behind it. Is this where I would go to find that out?
It's a good starting point, yes.
Okay.
And we can get you, I think the best part, or the best person maybe to talk to would be Mr. Johnson and one of the...
Our planning department would be the
Maybe.
place to go, and they're usually in the office between 8 and 5.
Okay.
And ask for Greg Montgomery. I think
Greg Montgomery.
Greg would be the person that you need to chat with.
Thank you. You get
Down for you.
Yeah.
I can write that down for you.
Okay. And the planning would
Some of the
also-
property we own in the canyon is strategic because we have a 36-inch water line that comes down the canyon.
Right, and that's what I kind of figured. The other side of this is that there's a road that's also on that sheer cliff that on the west side of that same piece of property has been vacated in 1998. And I was wondering if...
Greg will be able to help you with a little bit of information. You may also want to try talking with Sean Wilkinson or Rick Grover at the county.
Okay.
The canyon is the county jurisdiction, not ours, and the county might be able to give you more help.
I did talk with the county, and they said how Ogden City uses that land is strictly up to them. The vacating the road, if the road is vacated according to how it was platted, 7 feet of it goes to me and 7 feet of it goes to Ogden City. So
Greg will be the first person I think I would talk to if I were you.
Okay. And you say 8 to 5?
8 to 5 in the planning department, which is on the first floor.
Okay, thank you.
Great.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Amy Sue. Thanks, Mark.
Any other comments? All right, comments from the mayor.
We had a very, very, very successful Make a Difference Day. We had a lot of amazing projects that were done all over the city. Probably on that day alone, we had over 2,500 people that participated, so it was great. It's always fun to get the community involved, clean up and get ready. We have a lot of people coming this weekend. As you know, the Mayor's Walk is on Friday night. We hope to see you all there.
You can get one of these cool coins.
We get that and an opportunity to walk a mile. And if you're really ambitious, 2 miles. If you walk down to the park and back, it's 2 miles. That's not a bad thing. And then, of course, the next day is the marathon, and we hope you'll come down and enjoy the enthusiasm of the marathon. In my opinion, there's no greater place to be if you're not in the marathon of watching people as they cross the finish line and have that sense of achievement written all over their face. Some of them, it's a major goal in their life to achieve, and it is probably one of the most enjoyable things I do all year is watch those faces as they come across the finish line. It's kind of a fun thing. So hopefully you're all planning on spending Saturday morning down here with all of the rest of us.
Any other comments? Council members?
Madam Chair, as much as Travis is still with us, I want to offer our condolences to you for the loss of your mother, and appreciate the work that you've done on different projects that have come, and your attentiveness and your social outreach. Appreciate you.
Chair, I just wanted to thank Mark and Bill for helping me set up these tour to visit our water treatment plant and our Seattle water infrastructure. And I wanted to thank Jay Louder, but he had to leave.
I can pass that on.
If you can please let him know that I'm really grateful and thankful for the time. It was an amazing opportunity to learn a lot about our water infrastructure. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Any other comments?
Chair White, you beat me to the punch on the mayor's walk.
Oh, do you need the coin?
No, but
Pass it down.
I will sweeten the pot. Anybody who participates, I will purchase their sweater vest for the event for the day. If you'd like to do your walk in a sweater vest.
There's no respect. There's no respect in here, is there?
Any other comments?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Heyer, second by Councilmember Garner to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I never get the opposition to adjourn, isn't that?